A Leave PM for a better AM.
Well, President Trump getting right to work in the Oval Office after his inauguration yesterday. One of his first orders directs federal agencies to ease the financial burdens of Obamacare. It's a first step in the effort to repeal the law, and an article on FoxNews.com reports that some are describing this move as a swipe against the individual mandate, which is, of course, central to the legislation. Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi reacting to the move, saying, quote, "For all his rhetoric, President Trump's first actions in office were not to create jobs or raise wages. They were to begin dismantling the health security of the American people and make America sick again." Trump also blocking a policy that would have reduced the cost of mortgages for a specific group of homeowners with government-backed loans. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer responding.
Then Democrats will fight them with every fiber of our being, as we're doing right now. And what we will always do is hold.
Well, as mentioned, millions of people taking to the streets all over the world today, protesting in solidarity with the Women's March on Washington. John Huddy has more.
Jenna, from South America to Europe, even Australia, there were protests today worldwide against President Trump. We start in Paris, France, in the shadow of the Eiffel Tower, where thousands of men, women, and children marched in solidarity with those in Washington, D.C. There have been an estimated 600 demonstrations worldwide, including perhaps the largest today in London, England. That's where they chanted, "Build bridges, not walls," a theme echoed around the world.
The very first day of his presidency is marked by an international wave of protests that is historic. We have marches across 70 countries coming out today, so he has no honeymoon.
In Sydney, Australia, they also carried the Women of the World Unite banner, like the protesters gathered outside the U.S. Embassy in Buenos Aires, Argentina, where a line of female riot police stood guard just in case. It remained peaceful. Tonight in Tel Aviv, several hundred people also protested outside the U.S. Embassy, though Israel is a country that mostly supports President Trump. Last night in Bethlehem, however, a group of men lit a picture of President Trump on fire, their message focusing in particular on the president's promise to move the U.S. Embassy in Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, a move that many fear could spark another massive wave of violence and rip apart hopes for a two-state solution. Both Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu congratulated President Trump, as many people here are waiting to see if moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem will be high up on the president's to-do list. Jenna?
John, thank you very much. It's something we're going to watch. In the meantime, positive signs for George and Barbara Bush as both recover in the hospital. When they could be released, we'll get you an update. Plus, an infamous drug lord now in New York City. That's all still ahead in the Fox Report.
How can you make your house the center of the neighborhood? First, mix liquid gold Velveeta with the 1-2 kick of Rotel's diced tomatoes and spicy green chilies. Then, find space for extra parking. Lots and lots of parking.
When you're close to the people you love, does psoriasis ever get in the way of a touching moment? If you have moderate to severe psoriasis, you can embrace the chance of completely clear skin with Taltz. Taltz is proven to give you a chance at completely clear skin. With Taltz, up to 90% of patients had a significant improvement of their psoriasis plaques. In fact, 4 out of 10 even achieved completely clear skin. Do not use if you are allergic to Taltz. Before starting, you should be checked for tuberculosis. Taltz may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Tell your doctor if you are being treated for an infection or have symptoms, or if you have received a vaccine or plan to. Inflammatory bowel disease can happen with Taltz, including worsening of symptoms. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Now's your chance at completely clear skin. Just ask your doctor about Taltz.
When did mixing food with not food become food? Thankfully, at Panera, 100% of our food is 100% clean. No artificial preservatives, sweeteners, flavors, or colors. Panera, food as it should be.
This is Peloton, the indoor cycling experience designed to happen in your home. Only Peloton allows you to take high-energy live and on-demand studio cycling classes without having to go anywhere. Ride live with some of the best studio cycling instructors in the country. Ride flexible with thousands of on-demand rides. Ride connected, alongside riders from all around the world. This is fitness evolved. This is Peloton.
Now, every weeknight, 9 is Tucker time. Nothing off limits, no holds barred. Tucker is taking prime time to the next level.
Life. It's the unlimited possibilities all around us. It's finding the perfect fit at 40 shops. It's savoring every bite at 30 restaurants. It's raising the stakes at 3 world-class casinos. It's taking it all in at a 10,000-seat arena. And it's indulging in a deluxe room at the brand new Earth Tower, now open. With 400 additional rooms, you can escape the everyday, any day. Book your stay today at MoheganSun.com.
Whether you're looking to explore nature in a versatile 200-horsepower 2017 Tiguan, road trip with friends in a sporty, fuel-efficient Jetta, or spend some quality family car time in a Volkswagen Passat, you'll find that all three come with a standard turbocharged engine, and they're all available with great deals right now at your local Volkswagen dealer.
Hurry in and lease this 2017 Jetta S for just $159 a month. Visit VWDealer.com today.
Welcome back, everyone. We're getting an update on the hospitalization of former President George H.W. Bush and his wife, Barbara. A family spokesman says both are improving as they recover from illnesses. Casey Stiegel is live with the very latest on this. So, Casey, how is the president doing?
Well, Jenna, the president is feeling so much better, we're happy to tell you, that he personally called his office last night to check in on his staffers. That, according to a Bush family spokesperson who also says Bush 41's spirits are high. The 41st president of the United States is also looking forward to getting back to a regular schedule after doctors removed his breathing tube yesterday. Also an avid sports fan, the 92-year-old has even set a goal to personally attend the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. Houston, as you know, hosting the game this year. The stadium less than 3 miles from Methodist Hospital here.
They're both goal-oriented people. They both, set objectives that they move towards, but they also both have a love of life. They've been blessed.
No indication has been given on when the 92-year-old elder Bush could be discharged from the intensive care unit. Jenna.
Casey, we should mention Fox, of course, hosting the Super Bowl this year. We should at least get the president a ticket if we can, right? Absolutely. What about the former First Lady? She's also
we'll hook him up.
That's right. We have to. He deserves it. The former First Lady, though, Casey, how is she doing? How soon could she be released?
Well, she could be released as early as tomorrow. Again, that is according to a Bush family spokesperson. She has made significant improvement, doctors say, since she was hospitalized in the exact location as her husband, feeling fatigued, and we later learned she was suffering from bronchitis, but her doctors say the 91-year-old has responded to antibiotics and good old-fashioned rest. Staffers say Mrs. Bush is now focused on spending time with her husband. The pair just celebrated their 72nd wedding anniversary at the beginning of this month, making them the longest married couple in presidential history. It is a love story that so many Americans are interested in and have followed through the decades, and it sounds as if she may be able to be discharged altogether from the hospital tomorrow. Of course, we're here, and we'll keep you posted, Jenna.
What an interesting fact, Casey. In the history books, the longest married couple in presidential history, and role models for us all. Casey, thank you very much. It's great to have you there. In the meantime, Mexican drug kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman making a long-awaited appearance in a New York City courtroom. Guzman pleaded not guilty to charges he ran one of the world's biggest drug trafficking operations. Prosecutors agreed to not seek the death penalty as a condition of his extradition. He's being held, though, without bail in the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan. That's the same place, we should mention, where the Gambino crime family boss John Gotti and close associates of Osama bin Laden spent time on trial. Well, another look at the incredible crowds that formed across the country today. This, a bird's eye view of the march happening in St. Louis. People completely filling the streets as far as the eye can see. Next up, the message thousands of Americans are sending to the new administration, and the new administration will respond. Plus, two of President Trump's top cabinet members get to work.
I see my generals. Those generals are going to keep us so safe. They're going to have a lot of problems the other side. They're going to look at a couple of them. These are central casting. If I'm doing a movie, I pick you, General Mattis.
Tonight, special live post-inauguration coverage. First, Jesse's on scene in D.C. getting must-see reaction. Then Judge Janine breaks down the new administration from the Beltway. And Greg's talking President Trump and what America can expect. Tonight, special live post-inauguration coverage on Fox News Channel. Most watched, most trusted.
Managing my diabetes has been a struggle. I considered all my options with my doctor, who recommended once daily Toujeo. Now I'm on the path to better blood sugar control. Toujeo is a long-acting insulin from the makers of Lantus. It releases slowly, providing consistent insulin levels for a full 24 hours, proven full 24-hour blood sugar control, and significant A1C reduction. And along with Toujeo, I'm eating better and moving more.
Toujeo is a long-acting man-made insulin used to control high blood sugar in adults with diabetes. It contains 3 times as much insulin in 1 milliliter as standard insulin. Don't use Toujeo to treat diabetic ketoacidosis during episodes of low blood sugar or if you're allergic to insulin. Allergic reaction may occur and may be life-threatening. Don't reuse needles or share insulin pens, even if the needle has been changed. The most common side effect is low blood sugar, which can be serious and life-threatening. It may cause shaking, sweating, fast heartbeat, and blurred vision. Check your blood sugar levels daily while using Toujeo. Injection site reactions may occur. Don't change your dose or type of insulin without talking to your doctor. Tell your doctor if you take other medicines and about all your medical conditions. Insulins, including Toujeo, in combination with TZDs, thiazolidinediones, may cause serious side effects like heart failure that can lead to death, even if you've never had heart failure before. Don't dilute or mix Toujeo with other insulins or solutions, as it may not work as intended, and you may lose blood sugar control, which could be serious.
Toujeo helps me stay on track with my blood sugar. Ask your doctor about Toujeo.
Hey, I'm Ty Pennington, and I've got a simple question for you. Are you paying too much for your mortgage? Well, you won't know for sure until you check with Guaranteed Rate. Lowering your mortgage payment could save you thousands of dollars. Just take a few minutes right now to see how much you could save. Or just call us, and one of our home loan experts will help you find a low, low rate. Get your low, low rate from Guaranteed Rate today. Call 1-888-673-8300 or visit rate.com.
Lose weight, eat healthy, and get in the best shape of your life. Introducing the brand new South Beach Diet, the safe and effective way to lose weight and learn the way to maintain a healthy weight without hunger or deprivation.
I'm Jennifer and I lost 22 pounds on the South Beach Diet.
Over 11 million people chose the South Beach Diet, and now it's all new with completely prepared meals delivered right to your door. Order your 21-day meal plan and get 15 meals free.
I'm Asia, and I've lost 14 pounds in the first 2 weeks.
The secret? A unique phased approach. First, reset your body for quick weight loss in just 14 days. South Beach Diet is low carb, low sugar, with healthy fats. Lose weight fast.
I loved the food, especially the sriracha chicken.
I lost 24 pounds on the South Beach Diet.
I'm Betsy, and I lost 12 pounds on the South Beach Diet.
Call or click right now and get 15 meals absolutely free. Lose weight fast with the brand new South Beach Diet.
Call 888-720-PLAN or visit southbeachdiet.com and get 15 meals free.
TrueCar is great for finding new cars. You're smart, you already knew that. But it's also great for finding the perfect used car. You'll see what a fair price is, and you can connect with a TrueCar certified dealer. Now you're even smarter. This is TrueCar.
Americans, 83% try to eat healthy, yet up to 90% fall short in getting key nutrients from food alone. Let's do more. Add One-A-Day Men's, complete with key nutrients we may need, plus heart health support with B vitamins. One-A-Day Men's in gummies and tablets.
I'm Jenna Lee, and this is the Fox Report. It's the bottom of the hour, and if you're just joining us, protests have spread around the world in response to the inauguration of President Trump. Hundreds of thousands of women and men turning out in D.C. with a message for our new president. Mike Tobin is live in D.C. with more about what exactly transpired today. So, Mike, what have you seen so far?
Well, Jenny, you really cannot deny the crushing numbers of people who showed up here in the National Mall today. For a while, the National Mall was a no-go zone as people from all over the nation streamed to the nation's capital. They just kept coming. Wave after wave of people getting off the subway, off buses, coming from cars. You couldn't move around in the National Mall. You couldn't get a cell signal out. The women who marched out here chanted, "We won't go away. Welcome to your first day," obviously directed at the president. Some women said the message that they wanted to send out is they have numbers so strong that they cannot be ignored. Others said they're going to take the energy that they picked up here and try to engage politics on a local level. Despite some vulgar language from speakers, vulgar language on the signs, what really set this demonstration apart is the gentle nature of it. There really wasn't any trouble, so to speak. The people here at this demonstration were decidedly polite. And frankly, Jen, I'm not used to that.
Not used to, Mike, because of your experience, and I think we should point that out to our viewers, Mike has been in every single big story right in the thick of all these crowds, so he has a lot to compare it to. And I wanted to ask you about that, Mike, because you were also out yesterday, and you saw some of the protests during the inauguration as well. So how would you compare the two in the last 24 hours?
Well, you almost can't compare the two. It was a much different scene yesterday. You had 6 police officers injured, more than 200 people who were arrested. This organization, Disrupt J20, said they're going to promise more. They said that was going to be just the first day of it. You had kids with the faces covered up and the black hoods on, smashing out windows. They set a limousine on fire. They're trying to start fires in the center of the street, so the police ultimately came after them. There was a little bit of a demonstration outside of the courthouse where their comrades, if you will, were jailed today. But despite their promise for more trouble, so far today, we haven't seen anything new out of the kids with the face masks. Jenna?
Oh, I would say it's not an understatement to say that's actually a good thing. Mike, thank you very much. Always appreciate your experience and your reporting. In the meantime, the president kicking things off with a visit today to the CIA after taking on some in the intelligence community and raising questions about politics at play for leaked stories about Russia and the impact of Russia's hacking during our elections. That's while 2 of his top cabinet members get to work, General James Mattis as Secretary of Defense and General John Kelly as Homeland Security Secretary. We have Fox team coverage. Catherine Harris is watching the General Kelly's first day in his new role. But first, our Chief Washington correspondent James Rosen following General Mattis. He's live in our D.C. bureau now. And James, Mattis had smooth sailing in the Senate, but his confirmation did require a little bit more than most cabinet nominees. Tell our viewers about that.
Jenna, good evening. Yes, despite the 98-1 vote in his favor, General Mattis required an act of Congress, a signature from the president, and an oath of office administered by the vice president to become Secretary Mattis. The former U.S. Marine Corps general arrived at the Pentagon at high noon, the first recently retired active duty officer to lead defense since George C. Marshall in 1950. He was greeted by the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, fellow Marine Corps General Joseph Dunford. And photographs released by the Defense Department showed the new secretary conferring with Deputy Secretary Bob Work, a fellow Marine and Obama administration holdover, and U.S. Air Force General Paul Selva, among others. The commander-in-chief that Mattis now answers to told revelers at the Freedom Ball last night about his signing of that congressional waiver that permitted Mattis to serve as SecDef, despite the statutory ban on doing so for anyone not retired from the military for at least 7 years.
Our great General Mad Dog Mattis was approved tonight. The Senate approved. He was first. And I went to sign, and Mike Pence, who's coming out in a second, signed. You saw what happened, right? He just swore him in.
And with that swearing in, Secretary Mattis now oversees 1.9 million active duty and reserve members and a budget of close to $600 billion, Jenna.
It's a big job in a world that has a lot of issues that we're consistently watching, James. How closely aligned with President Trump is Secretary Mattis in terms of the way that he sees the world?
Well, at his confirmation hearing, Mattis underscored the need to embrace our international alliances and security partnerships. But President Trump's inaugural address envisioned a dramatic reordering of those alliances, including less U.S. financial support for foreign militaries. Mattis also spoke more severely about Russia than Mr. Trump generally does, saying at one point that Russian President Vladimir Putin is trying to, quote, break the North Atlantic Alliance and he urged the use of diplomatic, economic, and, quote, military steps to, quote, defend ourselves from Vladimir Putin. Jenna.
All right, now we go from that talk to action, so we'll watch for what's next. James, thank you very much. Always nice to see you. In the meantime, General John Kelly taking over the Department of Homeland Security. The Marine is in charge of some 240,000 employees who have a wide array of responsibility. For example, the construction of that long-promised border wall by President Trump would fall under the umbrella of the DHS. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Harris is live in our D.C. bureau with more on that. Catherine?
Well, thank you, Jenna. Vice President Mike Pence administered the oath of office as retired Marine Corps General John F. Kelly's wife, Karen, held the Bible. As the 5th Secretary of Homeland Security, Kelly now heads the sprawling department of 240,000 employees, and he's at the center of some of the most highly charged issues of the Trump agenda, from the southwest border wall to illegal immigration and domestic cybersecurity. In a memo to his new employees obtained by Fox News, Secretary Kelly writes, "The threats to our nation have not receded. The challenges to our way of life have not diminished. You have my commitment that I will strive to walk with you and lead in a way worthy of our mission, of your respect, and of the sacrifices that so many of you have made." During his confirmation hearings, Kelly significantly did not back away from Mr. Trump's wall pledge. Jenna.
What is the plan for Secretary Kelly?
Well, as former head of Southern Command that oversees Central and South America, Kelly told lawmakers that the best defense will actually begin 1,500 miles south of Texas and will involve building strong relationships with countries as far away as Peru. Kelly said the approach requires technology as well as bricks and mortar.
Physical barrier in and of itself will not do the job. It has to be really a layered defense. If you were to build a wall from the Pacific to the Gulf of Mexico, you'd still have to back that wall up with patrolling by human beings, by sensors, by observation devices.
While Kelly has appointed a chief of staff and support personnel are getting security clearances and briefed in, some of the department's key positions are now vacant. The head of the TSA, Peter Neffenger, decided not to stay on, despite appeals from Republicans and Democrats who commended the new professionalism he brought to the agency. Jenna.
Catherine, thank you very much. Catherine Harris, live in D.C. We are wrapping up all the latest on the Trump transition. Tune in to Fox News Sunday for exclusive interviews with Trump's White House Chief of Staff, Reince Priebus, and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, two big names. Also tonight, tune in to Justice with Judge Janine for an exclusive interview with Eric Trump. That's tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for all of that. So what are the next steps as the Trump administration continues to take shape? A special advisor of the Trump transition and the state treasurer of Arizona, Jeff DeWitt, joins us next.
For lower back pain sufferers, the search for relief often leads here.
a new from this day forward. It's going to be only America first. America first.
President Trump was speaking here not only about Americans, but to the entire world. This was a warning shot. Free trade agreements, military alliances, and weapons contracts, international organizations, treaties, and deals, especially from the 20th century, are all now open to renegotiation. Borders are back, and America will reassert our leverage, especially financially, because being the world's banker and the world's policeman comes at a cost. We're $20 trillion in debt and can't even take care of our vets. The days of bowing down and leading from behind are over. Critics called this part of the speech dark and scary. I call it smart and compassionate. But in order to make America great again, the president delivered an eloquent call for national unity.
At the bedrock of our politics will be a total allegiance to the United States of America. And through our loyalty to our country, we will rediscover our loyalty to each other. When you open your heart to patriotism, there is no room for prejudice. The Bible tells us how good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity. We must speak our minds openly, debate our disagreements honestly, but always pursue solidarity. When America is united, America is totally unstoppable.
When you open your heart to patriotism, there is no room for prejudice was one of the best lines of this address. This was an invitation to put patriotism above party. Still debate openly without the PC police intruding, yet rise above differences through a new nationalism. If you truly love your country, you will love everybody in your country. This foundation will propel America forward to heights he believes we've never seen before. The end of the speech was punctuated by a call to action. Donald Trump at his heart is a builder. He is not holding up hope for people. He's holding up expectations, very high ones. And his presidency will be judged ultimately not by his words or his gender or race, but by concrete accomplishments. And so Donald Trump began his presidency with a flurry of activity. Before attending the balls last night, he signed an executive order easing the burden of Obamacare and placed a freeze on all federal agency regulations. Two of his top cabinet picks, General John Kelly and General Mad Dog Mattis, were sworn in. And earlier today, President Trump made his first official visit to the CIA, where agents gave him a warm welcome as he promised them an administration full of, quote, winning. Still to come. Don't ask how, but I got invited to the inaugural ball. And I'm going to give you the behind the scenes later this hour. But first, the mainstream media is still on the attack, comparing the president's speech to Nazi Germany.
I have to say it was surprisingly divisive. It carries with it overtones from the 1930s.
What's going on with the media? We'll debate when we come right back.
This program is brought to you by the Kia K900.
We call this the Kia Niro. But that's only because breakthrough game-changing crossover that gets over 40 miles per gallon combined and is really fun to drive just wouldn't fit on the back. I mean, it would, but it would look ridiculous.
When you have a cold, you just want powerful relief. Only new Alka-Seltzer Plus, free of artificial dyes and preservative liquid gels, delivers the powerful cold symptom relief you need without the unnecessary additives you don't. Alka-Seltzer Plus liquid gels.
Life happens everywhere. Like it never even happened, only happens here. The cleanup and restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO and ServPro.com.
Did you know 2 areas of your brain can make it hard to lose weight? Contrave is an FDA-approved weight loss medicine that may help adults who are overweight or struggle with obesity lose weight and keep it off. Contrave is believed to work on 2 areas of the brain, your hunger center.
I'm so hungry.
To reduce hunger and your reward system.
Ice cream.
French fries.
To help control cravings. Across 3 long-term studies, Contrave patients lost approximately 2 to 4 times more weight than with diet and exercise alone. Contrave is not for everyone. One ingredient in Contrave may increase suicidal thoughts or actions in some children, teens, and young adults within the first few months. Other serious side effects include seizures, increase in blood pressure or heart rate, liver damage, manic episodes, glaucoma, and allergic reactions. Do not take with opioids. Reduce hunger, help control cravings. Contrave, the #1 prescribed weight loss brand. Go to contrave.com.
Oh, ow, oh my God, my tooth. My tooth, oh.
Let Rockaway Dental be your dental hero. Rockaway Dental is your full-service dentist for all your family dental needs. We offer emergency services 24/7. Call us to set up your appointment today.
Be yourself every game.
Ryder moves in and shoots. He scores! Chris Ryder! It's all power play goal!
Monday night, the Rangers take on Kings. Live coverage starts at 6:30 on MSG.
Mainstream media just can't seem to get over their obsession with President Donald Trump, already smearing the inaugural address. Take a look.
I think it's fair to say this is one of the most radical inaugural speeches we've ever heard.
When he said today, America first, it was not just the racial, I shouldn't say racial, the Hitlerian background to it.
I have to say it was surprisingly divisive for an inaugural address. That wasn't the type of inaugural address that was intended to bring this country together.
It carries with it overtones from the 1930s when an anti-Semitic movement saying we don't want to get involved in Europe's war. It's the Jews' fault in Germany.
And that's not all. Rather than focusing on the enormity of the day, several reporters and photographers flocking to a burning trash can. Yes, there were protests, but really, did a trash can deserve all that attention? And how about a Saturday Night Live writer who targeted Barron Trump, an innocent 10-year-old, writing, quote, "Barron will be this country's first homeschool shooter." Disgusting. Katie has since deleted the tweet, but the damage has already been done. With me now is founder of Power Women TV, Amy Palmer, and staff writer for The Federalist, Bree Payton. So, Amy, did any of Trump's speech remind you of Hitler, yes or no?
No.
So what are these people talking this garbage on TV for?
So they've been talking about Trump since day one as he is an outsider to them, okay?
Yeah.
He doesn't speak in the way Obama has spoken for years. But this is quintessential Trump. He's speaking to his base. They have to create news, and this is how they do it. It's par for the course.
So creating news by labeling him a Nazi? I don't think it's responsible journalism.
I did not hear anyone call him a Nazi.
Well, yes, it was the Nazi Germany, the dark and divisive, the anti-Semitic overtones, the Hitlerian reference.
Okay, so I do agree that when you look at someone who is standing there for the first time as President of the United States, and there is a tone that is divisive or does seem dark and gloomy.
What was dark and gloomy about the tone or the content?
I think that when he said about the factories and that people were out of work and that...
So factories aren't closing down and people aren't out of work? Because I think he's describing reality. Wouldn't you say it's not dark, it's actually realistic?
Well, I mean, my dad owns a small manufacturing company in Southern California, and I know firsthand the way that the Obama administration has crushed manufacturing industries like the one that my dad owns. I know personally firsthand that the healthcare costs have just skyrocketed astronomically, as well as environmental regulations have really made it difficult for him to stay in business and employ people.
And this is off the heels of President Obama, who painted everything as pie in the sky. You know, the world's never been safer, you know, open borders are delightful, the economy's never been better, we've never been safer, we've never been attacked. I mean, it was delusional. So I think to have an American president come in and actually tell the truth to the American people might rattle some members of the mainstream media.
Do you think, though, that that was the appropriate time to do that? Do you think that at that moment, when the world was looking to him as as the leader of the free world, that that's what they wanted to hear?
I think that was a part of the speech, and part of the speech is about telling the truth. But also, really disgusting was people going after Barron Trump, totally off limits. And this person should be ashamed of themselves. I mean, if that had happened with Malia Obama, I mean, could you imagine the backlash?
Yeah, I really don't think that we've ever seen this kind of backlash and this kind of hate towards the Obama daughters, as that should have been, right?
No,
like, they should have been protected. And also, as a homeschooler, I kind of take offense to that as well.
That's right. You got to stick up for the homeschool people. Now, Spicer, who's the new White House press secretary, came in guns blazing today, launched a direct attack against the media. Let's take a look.
Some members of the media were engaged in deliberately false reporting. One was a particularly egregious example in which a reporter falsely tweeted out that the bust of Martin Luther King Jr. had been removed from the Oval Office. This was irresponsible and reckless. Secondly, photographs of the inaugural proceedings were intentionally framed in a way, in one particular tweet, to minimize the enormous support that had gathered on the National Mall. There's been a lot of talk in the media about the responsibility to hold Donald Trump accountable. And I'm here to tell you that it goes two ways. We're going to hold the press accountable as well.
So, Bria, it looks to me that the Trump White House is going to go on offense against the press from day one. It's going to be relentless, and the press is in for a rude awakening. This is going to be the new normal, don't you think?
Yeah, and as they should. I mean, it's as a reporter, you know this, it's our job to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable, and I think under the Obama administration, they did the exact opposite. They ignored families like mine that was crushed by the regulations that Obama put forth, while they were, stroking Obama's ego. So I think that they're getting what's coming to them.
Yeah, they really are. And, I mean, how do you feel about this? This is a pretty direct attack at the media, but the media has really been on a roll. I mean, first it was this BuzzFeed fake dossier, that it was Washington Post retracting a story about Russia. I mean, and now this bust that they said that Trump removed actually is still there. I mean, the media has it coming to them.
So have you ever seen a president have a relationship with the media the way that Trump is?
No, I mean,
ever happened? So why is this
beating
the
up the
only
media is a
president
very
that's happening
effective
with?
thing. No, because they hate him more than they've hated anybody, and we know that for a fact. But thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
A CNN commentator calling blacks who support Trump mediocre Negroes. And Water's World infiltrates the Trump haters. What are they so angry about? Why are you scared of Donald Trump?
Because our lives are in danger, because,
That's life. That's what people say. You're riding high in April and shot down in May.
That's life. You diet, you exercise. And if you still need help lowering your blood sugar, this is Jardiance. Along with diet and exercise, Jardiance lowers blood sugar and A1C in adults with type 2 diabetes. Jardiance is also the only type 2 diabetes treatment with heart, proven to reduce the risk of cardiovascular death in adults with type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration. This may cause you to feel dizzy, faint, or lightheaded, or weak upon standing. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. Symptoms include nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, and trouble breathing. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of ketoacidosis or an allergic reaction. Symptoms of an allergic reaction include rash, swelling, and difficulty breathing or swallowing. Do not take Jardiance if you are on dialysis or have severe kidney problems. Other side effects are sudden kidney problems, genital yeast infections, increased bad cholesterol, and urinary tract infections, which may be serious. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you have any medical conditions. So talk to your doctor about Jardiance, the one and only type 2 diabetes treatment with heart. Visit Jardiance.com for a free consultation with a certified diabetes educator if you qualify.
Did you know 90% of the world's largest supercomputers run on Intel? That means you can take a universe of data, in your case literally, and turn it into medical discoveries, diagnostic breakthroughs.
Proof that black holes collapse into one singularity.
I don't know what that is, but yes, innovation runs on supercomputers.
And supercomputers run on Intel.
Well, you are super smart.
And super busy.
Oh, UFO! Oh, false alarm eyelash.
On the beautiful island of St. Lucia, only at Sandals can you stay at one resort and play around at all three. Play around wherever you want. Play around as often as you like. Dine around at 23 gourmet restaurants. Enjoy unlimited rounds on us. Why, you can even sleep in the round. Sandals Resorts in St. Lucia. Get 3 vacations for the price of 1. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
You could spend days weeding through financial documents to refinance your home, or you could push that button, skip the paperwork, and get a mortgage solution in minutes. Lift the burden of getting a home loan with Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans.
Don't let the food you eat during the day haunt you at night. Nexium 24 Hours shuts down your stomach's active acid pumps to stop the burn of frequent heartburn all day and night.
Have we seen them before?
Banish the burn with Nexium 24 Hour.
Live from America's News Headquarters, I'm Lauren Green. 4 people killed as storms sweep through the South. It happened when a tornado tore through Hattiesburg, Mississippi. The twister, part of a weather system, which tore off roofs from homes, churches, and ripped up trees. The condition of former President George H.W. Bush is improving. He was admitted to a hospital to treat pneumonia. The 92-year-old now setting a personal goal to attend the Super Bowl in Houston in 2 weeks. The condition for his wife, Barbara, also improving. She's in the hospital to treat a cough and may be discharged tomorrow. People still missing in Italy at the scene of a hotel destroyed by an avalanche 3 days ago. Rescuers working around the clock under the threat of another avalanche. 9 survivors have been found. I'm Lauren Green. Back to Water's World.
Welcome back to the special inaugural edition of Water's World. Now time for a look back at the pomp and the protest of yesterday's inauguration. Roll the tape. Why are you scared of Donald Trump?
Because our lives are in danger, because, like,
What are you doing out here today?
Silently protesting, trying to bring out my voice.
You're silently protesting, but you're talking to me.
It says no Trump, and it says impeach.
What are the grounds for impeachment?
I might not have all those down pat. No people are illegal. We are all legal to live on this earth. Yes.
Did you write that sign yourself?
No, I didn't.
This sign looks like a 3rd grader drew it. Are you being paid to protest today?
No.
Because it looks like you could use the money. Tell Putin I said hello.
Okay, no problem. I'll do my best.
All right.
I speak to him on a daily basis, even though I'm not Russian.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Whether we are black or brown or white, we all bleed the same red blood of patriots.
Say it.
President Donald Trump.
How's that feel?
It's amazing, man.
Yeah?
Best day of my life.
Feel good?
Feel great.
What was it like out there in the crowd?
Packed.
Yeah?
Yes.
Good vibes out there?
As you can see, everyone's with smiles. Everyone's looking good. You're looking great, by the way.
Thank you. What do you expect?
America to be great again.
He's going to bring the country together. He's going to lower taxes. He's going to bring jobs back to America. Most important thing is the jobs.
What do you want to see him do in the first 100 days?
Get rid of Obamacare. Repeal Obamacare.
You know, get jobs going, get infrastructure going, drop taxes, drop regulation. Build a wall, make America great again.
So here with his take on President Trump's first day in office, former Trump campaign manager and founder of Avenue Strategies, Corey Lewandowski. So I don't know if you saw at the top of the show my interpretation of the inaugural address. Some major themes there. You have America First, action, unity, power to the people. Did I miss anything?
Getting rid of the power from Washington, D.C., moving it back to the states. It has been the hallmark of this campaign, saying that, you know what, Washington, D.C. has been broken for a long time. It's now going to be fixed, and this is a great step in the right direction.
And apparently everybody thinks that's dark. I don't see what's so dark about that, but I can't really interpret anything that the mainstream media says. So also today, the ladies hitting the streets big time all across the country. Women's March rolled up a lot of news. What do you think? You think Donald Trump looked at that, and what did he think? Is that something he's going to be concerned with, all these ladies hitting the streets?
I think Donald Trump wants to bring the country together. That's everybody. There's now one president of the United States, as there always is. It's time to unify the country. Whether you agreed with Donald Trump in the election or not, 65 million people voted to send him to Washington. And look, Hillary Clinton was a terrible candidate. That's what it came down to. She couldn't connect with the American people. They knew she was fundamentally flawed. She lied about her emails. The American people want change. What Donald Trump is bringing to Washington starting yesterday at noontime, fundamental and wholesale change. You can be angry about it, or you can embrace it and say, let's move the country in the right direction.
I bet if the women had come out for Hillary the way they came out today, on Saturday, she might have gone over the top.
At least in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean,
Michigan,
it would have been a much closer election.
That's right.
Also, you see some of these people, and I talked to them, these protesters, they weren't the hardcore radicals that you saw at both conventions. These were lame people that really didn't know why they were there. Some of them were paid. They lit some fires. Does Donald Trump see a need to reach out to these folks, or does this just kind of like blow off his back?
I think Donald Trump wants to reach out and bring everybody in. Look, he's talked about this. The disappointing part was we saw 60 Democratic members of Congress boycott the inauguration. How is that unifying the country? How is that providing tax relief for working families? How is that making sure our country is safe from domestic terrorism and foreigners abroad coming in without a good immigration policy? Let's bring everyone together.
Takes two to tango.
Look, for a short period. What are we talking, 100 days? Let's work on a plan for 100 days together. And if after 100 days you don't like it, we can go back to the bitter infighting that Washington has seen for the last 30 years.
Yeah, that is a strong possibility. Today, Spicer came out and blistered the press for pushing fake news and trying to downplay the size of the inaugural crowd. And, he's got a right to do that, and they can do whatever they want. I don't care. But do you think that's smart strategy to pick a fight with the press on day one? Because it's been very effective during the campaign. Is this going to continue?
Look, Donald Trump and his team have made the calculated decision, rightly so, that they need to put their narrative out. This is amazing. You already talked about this at the top of your show, right? The mainstream media reports that the bust of Martin Luther King was removed from the Oval Office.
Yeah.
Come to find out, there was actually a person standing in front of it. Oh, my God, the person took a half a step over and the bust was still there.
Right.
But that wasn't the narrative, right? And you know what the recourse was from the media who talked about it? Sorry, mea culpa. It's all the time. False dossiers, false news stories, time and time and time again. Sean Spicer, Donald Trump are going to make sure that the American people get the news from the source, which is this administration.
Yeah, they're just going to go over their heads with Twitter and all that stuff. I need you to apologize for something.
I'm sorry?
No, you don't even know, but I have a beef. I had to pay for drinks at the inaugural ball last night. You guys raised $100 million for this inauguration, blew everybody out of the water, the Bush, Obama committees, and I had to pay for drinks. $15 for a cocktail.
You're rich. We're trying to
How do you know? I'm not rich yet.
What happened?
I'm not consultant rich.
Here's the good news. You're going to get a tax cut under the Trump administration, so you'll have more money to pay for drinks later on.
That sounds like a plan. Listen, is that tax cut better come soon? Because I had a few drinks last night.
Well, that's good. Hire some more people, right? That's what he needs to. Look, his administration's talking about hiring people.
Right.
Let's get people working again. It's the most important thing, and we'll cut the deficit. You'll have more money in your pocket.
Thanks a lot, Corey. I really appreciate it. All right, day one, the mainstream media caught pushing more fake news. Did Donald Trump remove the MLK bust from the White House? And later, President Trump wasn't the only one with some moves. What do you see what I brought to the inaugural balls? I'll take you behind the scenes.
At Mahindra, we know a new year means a whole new honey-do list. So knock out your projects with the toughest tractors on earth. With Mahindra's New Year's resolution sale, take home up to $7,900 in cash back and savings, plus the industry's best 7-year limited powertrain warranty. Now your honey-do list will be a honey-done list. Trust your land to the world's #1 selling tractor, Mahindra.
Why pause a spontaneous moment? Cialis for daily use treats ED and the urinary symptoms of BPH. Tell your doctor about your medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain or Adempas for pulmonary hypertension, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have a sudden decrease or loss of hearing or vision or an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis.
Take the roar out of snore. Yet another innovation only at a Sleep Number store.
Introducing Cologuard.
I'm here for an important reason. Colon cancer screening. If you're age 50 or older and at average risk, Cologuard finds cancer and precancer. And it's a non-invasive test you can use at home. In fact, I'm as easy as get, go, gone. How do you get me? Your doctor orders me, and I'm delivered directly to your doorstep. There's no need for time off or special prep because I use the DNA in your stool to find colon cancer. Then you just go. I mean, collect your sample. Then I'm gone. Just ship me to the lab. Gotta go.
Cologuard is intended for individuals at average risk for colon cancer. Cologuard is not for high-risk individuals, including those with a history of colon cancer or polyps, IBD, certain hereditary cancer syndromes, or a family history of colon cancer. Cologuard, colon cancer screening that's as easy as get, go, gone. Ask your doctor if Cologuard is right for you.
Jill in Seattle, take us away. Great job, everybody. Nice work.
What'd you take?
6 a.m. live class with Jess. She's awesome.
Good for you. I think I'm gonna do last week's pro ride with Ted.
Ah, ambitious.
Is it bad that I'm already out of breath?
Same hotel? Same price? No! There's a bunch of different prices out there all over the internet. Trivago instantly compares them to find your ideal hotel for the best price. Hotel Trivago.
20 times a day.
4 times a night.
How often do you feel the urge to go to the bathroom?
I stopped counting.
Count on Azo Bladder Control. It helps reduce the urge with naturally sourced pumpkin seed, so you can go less and worry less.
Fox News Channel on Sirius XM. Your favorite shows on Channel 114. Plus every story, every 15 minutes. Fox News headlines 24/7. Channel 115.
Nearly a third of Democrats in Congress boycotted the inauguration. Some black leaders even going so far as to say he's not a legitimate president. Here's Representative John Lewis of Georgia.
I don't see this president-elect as a legitimate president. I think the Russians participated in helping this man get elected, and they helped destroy the candidacy of Hillary Clinton. I don't plan to attend the inauguration. It would be the first one that I miss since I've been in the Congress.
And the Reverend Al Sharpton also jumping on the bandwagon.
I think that there's no question that the process that elected him was not legitimate. When you look at the now evidence from the intelligence agencies that there was the influence from the Russians and involved in the public discourse at the time of the election, when you look at those that were expunged from being able to vote.
And on Friday, the first report of fake news, as Time Magazine reporter Zeke Miller falsely reported that the Martin Luther King Jr. bust had been removed from the Oval Office. Realizing his mistake, Miller tweeted a correction and apologized for spreading the false report, writing, quote, tweeting again, White House aide confirms the MLK bust is still there. I looked for it in the Oval 2 times and didn't see it. My apologies to my colleagues. But even worse, CNN commentator Mark Lamont Hill smeared black Americans who associate with Donald Trump.
I love Steve Harvey and I have respect for Steve Harvey, and I think his intentions were accurate, or appropriate rather, but my disagreement is the way in which he's being used by folk like Donald Trump.
You don't know what happened. First of all, Pastor Darrell Scott, Michael Cohen, they are in a process of bringing all types of people from all over the country, from all different backgrounds, like we have, remember the Diversity Coalition, where we reach out to all different types of people?
It was a bunch of mediocre Negroes being dragged in front of TV as a photo op for Donald Trump's exploitative campaign against black people.
Wow. Joining me now, nationally syndicated radio host Richard Fowler and Crystal Wright, the author of Con Job and the publisher of conservativeblackchick.com. So just jumping back to what we earlier saw there, is Donald Trump a legitimate president, yes or no?
I think Donald Trump's a legitimate president.
Thank you. That's all. Just stop while you're ahead, okay?
I didn't say anything.
Stop while you're ahead.
He won the Electoral College. I think there's a lot.
I'm always a figure in someone else's dream. I'd rather sometimes make my own figures and make my own dreams. This is my fashion line.
Ask you, in your opinion, what is Conor? If there's $100 million, that was the purse. Now it's going to be more than that on pay-per-view.
Yes.
If there was $100 million purse, what does Conor deserve?
Floyd's right. If it's going to be a boxing fight, he is the A side, so he does deserve more. But being that Conor McGregor is his biggest fight, that's the biggest fight that he can make across both sports, UFC and boxing. 35, 35, 40, 60, 40 Floyd, 65, 35. He deserves way more than $10 million because there's no other way that Floyd is going to see the money on the back end that he would see with Conor McGregor.
Back end being the pay-per-view.
Being the pay-per-view. Now, the issue that Dana made, the offer that Dana made him is a real issue, but I've heard that Floyd would normally pay his opponent's purse and then they just take the whole back end. So I think the issue that Floyd has with that offer is, what am I going to make in terms of the split and pay-per-view? But it's the best offer that he can get because otherwise
Floyd's got no. But people, I got nothing against boxing.
Yeah.
When boxing's at its best, it would beat UFC in pay-per-view. But there's no other fighters out there anybody cares about.
And he cannot promote Conor McGregor any other way because Conor is under contract with the UFC. So if he's going to try to make a fight with Conor, it has to be some way through the UFC. So I feel that it is a good offer because it's the only offer. Because if he says no, 25 is not enough, Dana would have to go up in order to make another offer because otherwise there is no Conor McGregor.
Do you guys like Conor?
I do. I think he's funny because I actually talked to him outside of the McGregor persona that a lot of people see.
So it's a little shtick?
Sometimes, but as he grows in stature, I think the persona is starting to kind of creep into who he is normally.
He's becoming, they always say, live the gimmick. Like professional wrestlers become the character.
Yeah.
So Conor at some point now is becoming a
little bit. Yeah, he's a little bit becoming the character, but it's because he has to live it. You know, it's like Floyd. Floyd wasn't always Money Mayweather, but now every time you see him, it's Money Mayweather. You know, I had before the whole Money Mayweather thing started, I met Floyd Mayweather at a club. He didn't have the huge entourage. I walked right up to him and told him how big a fan I was, and he was super nice. You know, so I haven't come across him since, but I would hope that he's the same person that he was back then.
No, he's not.
He's not.
Well, I just don't think, it's like Aaron Rodgers, Daniel Cormier joining us. You know, like Aaron Rodgers is going through this where his family's criticizing him and his family's saying, well, he's changed.
Yeah.
Sometimes people do change, but a lot of times the people around you change.
Yes.
So if you're Floyd Mayweather and you have $100 million, everybody's could be, I don't know, but there could be numerous people in his family that now are lunging at him, asking him, demanding he also fund maybe their life and buy him things. So I'm just saying sometimes the star does change. A lot of times the environment and people around the star changes. I think Floyd's life now is so big that he's changed a little and those around him have changed.
Well, the problem with his life, like you said, it's so big now. It's like the people that he knows, he has to know them from way before because he can't make any new friends. Nothing is going to be genuine. It's all going to be, you're Floyd Money Mayweather. You have all this cash. How do I attach myself to Usana? Nobody knows the kid from Michigan before anymore because they never met him during that time. So it's very difficult to meet new friends, especially when you get to a certain point in your career. And I mean, obviously we are not at that level, $100 million, and it's still very difficult for us to make new friends.
Your fear betrays you. Night falls in 30 seconds. Are you ready for some amusement? Feel my wrath. It is time. Do what must be done. Yes, destroy their forts. Well done. As you wish. I found my prey. That's enough seeds. Now, let my terror grow. Let us move. I found my prey. It is time to harvest. Bring my terror to life. Betrays you. Descends. The sun dawns. My children must sleep. For now. Your terror is starting to wilt. I'd hurry if I were you. Well done. The terror shall uproot your enemy's forts. No mercy. A terror has grown for your enemies, heroes. Bleed, you filth. Yes, I see. Your fate is sealed. I am renewed. You've lost a fold, heroes. Your fear betrays you. I'm ready to continue the hunt. Silent. You've uprooted a fort. Feel my wrath. My mana is too Your terror has been cut down. I found my prey. Nothing will stop me now. Let us move. Well done. Your enemy's terror is winning the way. Your fate is sealed. Night falls once more, and soon the Shamblers shall rise again. survived another night. How wonderful for you. Harvest the result of your efforts, heroes. Bring my terror to life.
A clever ploy.
There, your
it up.
terror has come to life. Use it to harvest your enemy's corpses. I hate to say it, but your enemy has spawned a terror.
Bleed thick. Yes, I see. Hells take you.
Your terror is compost.
To my side.
Well done. Your enemy's terror has withered away.
Let none survive.
Your flowers shall bloom again. The night comes, heroes. Remember, kill the shamblers and claim their seeds.
Well done, all.
What a joyous night to have a peace.
Let us meet. Your fear betrays you.
To my side.
I depart. No mercy to the wicked. I found my prey. I depart.
my side.
Let none survive. Yes, slaughter them all. Again, complete your task. It's over for now, but don't get too comfortable. The infested will return again. Well done, heroes. Soon the Garden Terror will be yours to control. Your enemy has spawned a terror. Interesting. Harvest the result of your efforts, heroes. Bring my terror to life. Why do you delay? No terror lasts forever. Your enemy has destroyed a fort. Enough waiting. Let us depart. Embrace your terror. Trust me, it's a lot of fun. Nicely done. The terror shall sap the life from your enemy.
To my side.
Well done. Your enemy's terror has broken away. Keep going. The enemy is attacking the core. Your terror is looted. Swift and silent. The enemy is attacking your core. Bleed, you filth. How I love to see my runes glow. Your core is under attack. The shadows rise again. Free my seeds, heroes. You here? I found my enemy. They shall feed my children. Yes, I see. I must retreat. it up!
Want to take this camp of mercenaries? Because I do.
Well done, all. To my side.
A terror has grown for your enemies, heroes. Keep lost. My hunt continues. Feel my wrath. Not all face their terrors and survive. Feel my wrath.
MVP.
You can get on track and not rely